one final question before we wrap up, which is that we started with the book you had written, and you've just finished another one. So I wondered if you would just briefly tell us about that before we sign off. Sure.
Thank you for asking about my colleague Teresa Young and I. It's a labor of love for the last 2.5 years. We're working on a volume that is really a review. It's through Oxford University Press, and they have a really beautiful focus on language learners series, and this is one of the books that's focused on special education needs. And they've asked us to look across, again, all our colleagues in the field who are doing research, classroom-based research for language learners who also have special education needs. And so what are these instructional approaches that are most effective for our young multilingual learners who have special education needs, and as well as our adolescent students who have special education needs. And it's been an amazing trip, the amazing journey, I should say, to learn about these practices. And so, I mean, I can talk about some of the patterns we saw in these most effective strategies or approaches. Really focus on the student at the center, and really getting to know the student and their strengths, their linguistic and cultural strengths, their family resources, and also the conversation we're having about learning how that child's difficulty manifests in the classroom. So through instruction, like how is it manifested for them? They're in a very unique way. So that is sort of at the center. And then we found that those the approaches that really worked also surround that child with instruction and approach and instruction and intervention that is meaningful, that is cohesive, connected, that is not reductionist. It's not about pulling them out to work on repetitive skill, but to work with those skills within a meaningful learning environment, and that is engaging, that really engages and focuses them within that zone. And then it's surrounded by a culturally and linguistically appropriate learning environment that looks upon the student and their family, honors their language and culture and their resources. And so that, we've sort of, when we pulled from all these studies, patterns that we saw, those are the kinds of things that we saw in the instructional approaches. So there's some really beautiful strategies that we found, approaches like collaborative strategic reading and structural conversations, and really bringing in their multilingual, multicultural well, I was going to say strengths and assets into the instruction. So so that's hopefully coming out next year, 2018, I think maybe this summer. But thank you for asking about it. It's been a labor of love for the last couple of years. Thank you.
I can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
We will certainly have it on Colorin, Colorado, no doubt about it, I'm sure, when it comes out.